You may have seen her this week, but if you are unfamiliar, she represents part of Dallas and Tarrant County, and she is a member of the House Oversight Committee. Thank you so much, Congressman Crockett, for joining us. I am going to get straight to the point with you because I have the question that a lot of people want to know from Democratic Congress members. Matt Gaetz, he's saying he's going to bring the motion to oust the speaker. He brings that motion to the floor. It comes up for a vote. Are you voting yes or are you voting no?
Listen, first of all, I'm going to take my cues from my leader, but let me tell you something about Matt Gaetz, and let me tell you something about Speaker McCarthy. For once in life, we actually agree. Matt Gaetz just likes to talk. He likes y'all to cover him. I mean, every time he threatens them, the media says, oh, let's see if he's really going to do it. And he gets more and more attention. He likes the attention. My deal is this: if you're going to do it, do it. But he loses all of his leverage. At the end of the day, there's no one else that has the votes. So if he can find somebody, great, but it's not going to be somebody further to the right. And honestly, it's probably not going to be anybody to the left of them either. At the end of the day, for me and my vote right now, I'm looking at the soon-to-be Speaker of the House, and that is Jeffries.
I appreciate that. Now, you're a freshman Congresswoman, and you're in there. This is sort of the second time this year after the debt ceiling debacle that we've seen Democrats come to Speaker McCarthy's aid to avoid a crisis. Given that we haven't seen, well, you haven't seen as a member, a bunch of other speakers in terms of how they're operating or how they operate, how they move things, what do you think about how he's governing and how his leadership, not just of his party, but of the whole House?
He's not governing. And honestly, we've not really come to his aid. We've come to the aid of the American people. We put the people over politics every single day. And so when it came down to this shutdown, we absolutely were not going to allow the American people to feel pain simply because you had this MAGA regime that is trying to exert some sort of, I don't even know what they're trying to exert, to be perfectly honest, anything other than tearing us apart as a country. So we weren't going to allow that to happen. At the same time, we weren't just going to take whatever they threw at us, and we made it clear what the standards needed to look like. We needed a clean CR. And for those that don't understand, the only reason we're in this debacle in the first place is because McCarthy and the MAGA Republicans cannot govern at all. We were supposed to be done with our homework. We have been in session for the last 9 months, and they've been unable to pass their budget. They have been talking over and over and over about how we need to cut spending, yet they didn't put anything up. And then there was the debt ceiling deal. And you know who reneged on it? McCarthy. So when people say they don't trust him, that is Democrats and Republicans alike. No one can trust the Speaker of the House.
Yesterday, I spoke with your colleague, Barbara Lee, and I was talking about the notion of fairy tales and happy endings. And at the time, I didn't necessarily think, along with a number of different Americans and members of Congress, that a deal was going to get done and we were going to get the happy ending. I don't know that we're at the happy ending yet, but we've got about 45 days until this issue comes up again. How confident are you that the deal will get done at that point? And what happens to the progress of that deal should Matt Gaetz make good on his promise and open up another sort of election of a new speaker? How could that impact things?
Listen, I have zero confidence in this Republican Party. That is my answer to that. So, yes, we live to see another day. But unfortunately, I need people to understand that we are on an absolute roller coaster. We have been on a roller coaster since the session started. Everyone saw the drama that unfolded as I was attempting to be sworn in. 15 votes. Listen, we will go round and round and round, and I honestly don't know who would want to step up and deal with this Republican compilation of members at this point in time. Even if someone wanted to be speaker before, I think that they would think twice after seeing all of the headache that has been caused. And honestly, we need a rule change. McCarthy backed himself into this by saying that it only took one person to come to the well and be able to make the motion. He knew then that he was in trouble, but he was willing to give up any and everything just to have this title. The one thing that the Democrats will not stand for is him giving up the American people and their chance at prosperity and their chance at real recovery as we are still reeling from the inflationary effects that most people are feeling.
Congresswoman Crockett, don't go anywhere. You have gotten a lot of attention from MAGA faithful and everyone else after your viral moments this week, and it had nothing to do with the actual shutdown. I want to talk to you after a quick break about your speech and what you were talking about in your comments during the impeachment inquiry into President Biden this week. Stay right here on Velshi. You're watching MSNBC. I'm Charles Coleman Jr. We'll be right back.